Film Riot. This week is the week of Ballistic. Ballistic releases this week on Wednesday, the 27th, and I am equal parts excited and really nervous. Poured my heart and soul in this one. You know, the heart and soul and blood, sweat, and tears of a bunch of artists were poured into this one, so really hope you guys dig it. And do me a favor, on Wednesday, show up on the channel, check it out, and if you do dig it, share it with all your friends, post it out, all that good stuff. I will love you. I will love you forever. I will love you forever if you do this. I will. Now let's get to questions. Does Ryan pull from any life experience to write his short films? Symbolism? Of course, I think everyone does. I don't know how you write without pulling from life experience. That's always embedded in there. And this short film definitely means something to me, and it has more surface themes, I think, that a lot of people probably will catch on to. And then it has, you know, themes below the surface that I don't know that anybody will catch on to, but it's always about something to me. There's always an idea there, even if I find it after the fact, even if I start telling that story first because I'm excited about the concept, or I came up with a sequence and I'm building around that, whatever it is, and then I'm adding those themes. Like, it's not till I'm adding those themes and the about under the plot that everything really starts to drive forward, and I really start to figure it out, and it starts to become what it should become. Recently, I've been starting with that and then building on top of that, which I've found a lot easier and more organic. But yes, always pulling from life experience. Why do you immediately release these large projects online instead of doing film festivals as many others do? And what have you gained by releasing online? Film festivals are great, but you're condensing it down to a specific audience, just the audience that you're putting it toward. And I don't think the stuff that I make is festival fair type stuff. I make stuff for an audience to entertain you. And that's what I've always wanted to do is, you know, we built this platform that is Film Riot, and I want to make stuff that I can put out to entertain the people that want to watch it, which is all of you guys. And if it gets a broader audience than that, that's great. But by putting it on places like YouTube and Vimeo, you have a much better chance of it being seen by the right people. I've been contacted by a lot of people every single short film that I put out because it goes online and it's easy to find. And if a blog does an article on it, you know, somebody might find out about it and then come check it out and then possibly want to talk to you. A lot of people have made film. Lights Out from David Sandberg was made that way. Portal from Dan Trachtenberg really helped him out into getting his foot in the door with certain things. So for me, you know, that's the process that makes most sense. I did festivals back in the day, and just for me personally, they're definitely valuable for a lot of people, but for me personally and my career path, it just doesn't really make much sense to me. When you finally get hired to direct a large budget feature, it will definitely happen. I love you. Will you still take the job if they won't let you take Film Riot along for the ride, BTS, and the like? If you watch the show or hear me talk, you know that actually making films is my #1 passion and love, and is the only thing that I can remember wanting to do since as far back as I can remember. So if I had the chance to make a film that I wanted to make and Film Riot couldn't come along with it, yes, I would absolutely take that. Film Riot wouldn't stop. I've worked very hard to build a team that in the event that happens, they'll be able to take over and keep going with Film Riot until I come back. Hopefully it doesn't happen though. I would assume that any studio would, you know, welcome that sort of free promotion and connection to an audience. That way I can bring you guys with me and show you the process. That's the #1 dream, is to not only be able to make my first feature, but to bring all you guys along with me and just be very honest about the process. But we'll see. I mean, first I got to get a feature. So was there anything about making this film that you approached in any fashion different than what you have in the past? I haven't seen it yet, of course, but this one feels different, so I'm curious. Yeah, absolutely. That would be time. I had a lot more time with this one than I have with anything else I've ever made. Usually all the stuff that I make is last minute type stuff. Either, you know, a company shows up to give us some money to make something last minute, or we had the people or an idea that we have last minute, but it has a certain deadline because whatever the reason is. But that's how it always happens. So it usually happens to where I write a script very quickly, usually within a day, and then we're more often than not shooting the first draft. This time I had several drafts of the script, so I had a little more time. It was pretty rushed still, but I had a little more time to really think about the idea that I wanted to make, the film I wanted to make, the themes I wanted to flush out and sort of craft a story, and even more so in post. Now, a nice amount of time in post to really craft the edit, where usually that is just not the case. I loved and am super passionate about all of the films that I've ever made. So that's been the norm. With this one, that wasn't so much the case. So that was the biggest difference, that I had time to really sink my teeth in and make a short film. Do you feel like you'd be ready now, having made this level of short film, to make a feature? And if so, what genre would you consider tackling first? I do feel ready. I felt ready for almost a year now, maybe a little more possibly, and especially even more so after Ballistic because of the experience and what I learned from that. So I really want to try to push forward and work towards making a feature now, for sure. And as far as genre goes, it just depends on the story that I'm wanting to tell. I love almost all the genres. I would love to. I mean, I love watching all the genres, but as far as making them, I love the majority of them. So I could see myself making something in all of the genres. And I have a lot of feature ideas, and they do span the scope of genre. But if I had to guess, I would assume my first would end up being either sci-fi, horror, or thriller. How does the director convey the vision to the editor, and how does that interaction usually work? Well, I can only tell you based off of the one time that I've had an editor with that one editor, which is Lucas Harger. And it's just, talking about what it should feel like. It's talking about pacing. It's, maybe referencing other movies, though I don't think we did that very much, but it's all about what this moment should feel like, and then slowly starting to craft this. You have the scene, it's pieced together, you get an assembly, and then you start, okay, let's try this, let's try that, and you just start trying things, and then this moment's not feeling right, it's feeling like this, it should be feeling like that, and you have these discussions. Well, maybe if we tried this, if we show the audience this first, if we look at this object first, and then we cut to her, that's going to inform them of this. So when we get to that, it's really that sort of conversation. I mean, I can't really talk in specifics because the film's not out yet, but it's talking in those ways, talking about how things feel, what they should mean, and then figuring it out from there. And then over time, it gets down to the nitpicky, trim one frame here and there type stuff.
Logo.
So that's it for today. Now it's time for my suggestion of the week, and that is VFX Production, which is the YouTube channel of Ryan Thompson. He is one of the new additions to the Film Riot family. You can actually find his Connect page on our new website, filmriot.com/connect. He's got a ton of really cool work there. Definitely check that out. He's been one of the people that's pouring his blood, sweat, and tears into Ballistic, working all kinds of hours helping make this happen with the visual effects. So definitely check that out. And on Wednesday, check out the film. Until then, don't forget to write, shoot, edit, repeat.